So I think later on we will have our artists from Taiwan and also one of our partner from VDR Salon, Hui, and Shu will bring us his new conducting piece, and which is also a virtual performance. So Shu, maybe from your perspective, you can bring our audience today's different thought and different way, please.
Yeah, thank you, Dakun. Can you hear me clearly?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Hello, everyone, and hi, Prasad, and Dakun, and Aliang. So it is my honor to participate in the panel. And today I'm going to bring you my latest work, which we premiered in a few months ago in Taipei, and then we will bring that to Rotterdam for the festival, the film festival, next January. And it was originally commissioned by the Rotterdam Film Festival and also Digital Art Center Taipei last year. But the very beginning was in 2019 when we were still in the normal world. It was November of 2019, and we got invitation from Film Festival Rotterdam to ask us to do a formative visual art piece for them. So you can imagine that how interesting it was. It's a film festival, but they had their own performance programs. But the performance under their definition was definitely not a theatrical context, but more like a visual art or contemporary art context. So they encouraged visual artists to do their filming and also live performance or sound art in their annual editions. It's a long tradition from this film festival, which makes them very different and special. So now I'm going to show you my slideshow. So the subject I want to share with you today is a plan B for the pandemic. As I mentioned, we were invited at the very beginning before the spreading of the pandemic. So none of us were expecting that, of course. No one had the vision, or no one could predict how this world become a chaos right now. So, but luckily, we proposed a very interesting live performance piece for the festival in November of 2019. We plan to do a remote mobile devices and AR effect, and also live streaming, social media live streaming system, which can broadcast a human performance. So basically, ideally, every participators, the audiences, they can broadcast for us when they visit the show. This is the basic idea. But few months later, when the COVID-19 appeared, then all of us realized that we are facing a new situation. So then we started to discuss and negotiate with each other. How can we transform the show or reconstruct the whole idea? So I'm going to introduce the background first. The work we propose today was called Revenge Scenes. So it is a mobile devices performance. So of course, Taipei in Taipei, the Digital Art Center, they were interested, and the International Film Festival, Rotterdam, they were interested too, because it seems a new possibility of watching, or that can challenge the way of watching a movie or a performance both. So they both love it, and this is how we started. And the show was supposed to be presented in Rotterdam Theater first in the Netherlands. But as you know, it was supposed to be premiered in Dutch this June, as we planned last year. But when we were facing a pandemic, eventually we decided to postpone the show to next January in 2022, which will be next January, next spring in Rotterdam. So we postponed the show twice, I think. At the very beginning, in the last June, we thought the show will be postponed to this summer in 2021, summer vacation of 2021. But as you know, the chaos in Europe is so unpredictable. So just about 2 months ago, in early May, the whole office, the Rotterdam Film Festival office, they decided to, I think they probably canceled most of the physical performance in their summer program. And that summer program was specifically designed to deal with the COVID-19, because regularly they don't have summer program. They only present annual shows in January and February every year. But this year is so special, so they create a new program for summer, because they were expecting the reopening is coming up, will be in summer. But unfortunately, in the early May, on our last meeting with Taiwanese team and Rotterdam team, we both agreed to postpone the show to next year. And so by this page, you can see they already announced the dates of their next edition. It will be in next January 26th to February 8th. But the content in this page, you'll see this is for their summer program. The program is called Art Directions. So they cancel most of the performance or exhibitions in this program, but they keep only 4 virtual reality movies. So basically, I would say it was not planned as before. They just give up most of the physical activities. This is quite tough to do the decision, I believe. But this is how we are facing it. And for next January, who knows? Personally, I would not guarantee that everything will be that okay as we predict. Maybe the so-called third wave of Delta is coming as well. So, but now I'm going to introduce the production, and also how we prepare the plan B for that. The Revenge Scenes was based on my previous works called Women's Revenge, which is a multi-channel video, which revisit exploitation film in 1980s Taiwan, when the country of Taiwan was still under the martial law, the so-called military governance era. So this is a kind of special genre. We copied the genre from Western Hollywood system, which is described as a kind of exploitation genre, and could be women, could be black, or could be a war, In Taiwan, this kind of cheesy cow film or B budget B movie, low budget B movie, was very welcome in the early 1980s. It's a very strange phenomenon. So this work tried to revisit this kind of exploitation tradition. So the next step of the video installation was the multi-performance for revenge scenes, produced by artist Cheng Hsien and I, and we premiered the show a few months ago in Taipei, and it was a show utilized live streaming and augmented reality, so-called AR, and also machine learning technology and other kinds of Wi-Fi technology, internet technology, and we try to lead the audience back into history of the social realism films in Taiwan and the exploitation entertainment tradition in the 1980s. And we think there was an invisible link between this kind of cow films from the old days and also between this kind of film and also the nowadays live streaming or social media behavior. We thought there is a similarity behind the human being and our desire. So this is how we started, and we decided we designed a TV broadcasting like environment. It was a TV. There is a TV wall, and there's the circle stage with green color, and so the ambience is very TV show phenomenon. So the audience will allow to be walk around in the space, and they can live screen for us. And we also create a customized app for them. They can download the app. They can have AR animation effect, subtitle effect, some specific chibi movie effect like explosion, bloody spreading, and weapons, sort of that kind of game, computer game or Hollywood movie effects, something like that. So when they broadcast the show for us, we can also gathering their signal to the console. This is how it works. This is the technology diagram of our show. We have a physical space with human performance first, and then the audience will have their cell phone with them and with the app, and they will broadcast for us and rate their Facebook account, and then their friends will be allowed to watch the whole live performance online, of course, and they Facebook, also Instagram or Twitch, ideally. And then the console created by artist Cheng will be reconstructed, and we deployed all the video sources, footages on the TV wall, physical TV wall, in the same space. So please allow me to show you the video, the document of the performance now, and you will realize what I'm saying. So in DAC, Digital Art Center Taipei, they have a main gallery. It's a white cube, and then audience were walking into the space before the show, and then the human performance will appear. They have weapons or knives on their hands, but also the audience, if they are using apps, they have their digital components as well. So this kind of mixed reality as well. And the preview is also showing the TV wall content. On the biggest screens in the space, there is a TV wall. And it's a collection of all the video sources from audience cell phone by the app. They also have subtitle function. So the narrator, when they are speaking, audience will get the subtitle, English and Mandarin both, on their cell phone. So the machine learning technician were help us to make the face tracking, so they can remember actors' face. They will learn, the program will learn how to distinguish the specific faces we want. So so basically, you might imagine that the work approach two kinds of layers of watching. One is human performance, a physical happening, and the second layer will be a live streaming, or second layer will be a augmented reality, the AR effect, which was like a computer game. You can evacuate by yourself, or you will be evacuated by our console. So they are the second layer. And the third layers will be the live streaming. So you can share, you can broadcast the whole performance to your friends. So what they are watching, what they were watching are a bit different from you, because they only watch your screen. So you share your own point of view only. Every audience had their personal angle and point of view, and the way they move, the angle they choose were different from others. So the fourth layer will be the collection. As you can see now, we have a list in DAC. Because of the technology limitation, we have only we can only have 5 channels in the same time. Because of the internet environment, the speed of the signal is not fast enough, so we limited that. But this is the fourth layers. So there will be totally 4 kinds of watching and different kinds of experience of the violence. And we try to rebuild this kind of human exploitation film. We try to redevelop that. We can kind of modern dancing or happening. Okay, so and the next I'm going to present the Plan B, which we didn't finish yet, but we hope it will become reality in the future. This is the screenshot from audience cell phone. So they can have this kind of 3D movie title with the real bodies, real time, during the performance. And this is a drawn by Zheng Xianyu, artist Zheng Xianyu, one of our artists. And this is clearly show the logic, how central computer console control all the signals, and audience using cell phones, and they send their signal back to the net to create, and then and the council will deploy all the signal to other departments. And this is how the council looked. Actually, it was a computer program, and with 3 people only. One controlled the subtitle, one controlled the augmented reality animation, and another one is doing the collection of TV walls. So basically, 3 of us can do most of the things. But of course, we have one more engineer, artist, who control the light. And this is artist Zheng Xianyu, who is trying to figure out something during the performance. And congratulations to him, he just won the biggest art prize today in Taiwan, Hsien art prize. A very talented guy. So this is the way he drove for Rotterdam Film Festival to offer a plan B. It looks not that different, but basically the idea is simple. If we can control the show like this, and during the show in Taipei, you can always imagine this team was just beside the performance space. We were in same space, but the signals, all the images, internet, they are sidered. They are not real, right? We are using internet technology to control everything. So why should we go to Rotterdam? So even today, the Netherlands government just announced that Taiwan will be in their list of safety countries. So which means we can travel there easily, easier than before. But still, there are so many unpredictable risks and costs in the future. For example, if we ship the whole team, the performers, artists, to Netherlands, then we were facing the very serious issues, the budget. Because when we came back to Taiwan, according to our CDC's regulation, we have to quarantine everyone in hotel for 15 days, for more than 2 weeks. So the cost is too much for a production. You can imagine that. So, and also the risk is unpredictable. Most of the Taiwanese, they don't get their vaccination yet, less than I think 15%. So if we move to Europe, most of our team will are facing the risk to get infections. So this is why we are concerning. And of course, the office of Rotterdam Film Festival, they understand that. So this is what we are trying to do. We keep the whole technical team in Taiwan, including myself, the director, all the light designer, computer engineers, stage managers. Most of them, they stay in Taiwan. And we only invite local performers in Rotterdam to execute the show, to do the show there. And it seems very possible, actually, because we will have the similar space, physically similar in Rotterdam. And we have similar equipments, lights, LED lights, and projectors or TV walls, and computer environment, and also the cell phones from the audience, they are the same. So it's modelized. So that makes the show become a remote theater as well. So it will be a very interesting challenge to us. We do the rehearsal online, we do the technical rehearsal online, and we control all the signal online. So all we need is a monitor. Because like every audience, when they watch the show, they use internet, they use their Facebook, and we can do the same thing. So basically, everyone is not there except the performers. Would that be a realistic option? We don't know yet, but we hope if we really need to to perform the show next January, and if we will facing the same situation like before, like quarantine issues or the third wave of pandemic issues, maybe it's a good solution, and maybe it's a good example for different kinds of performance or shows or activities around the world. And by this case, what I was inspired was like it is a remote show, and we use signals and programs to build that. So it could be rebuilt in anywhere, logically or theoretically. Basically, it works, I think. And it also reminds me two kinds of theory. One is called Future Cinema by ZKM Institute in 2003, I think, in Germany. In Germany, they had the show called Future Cinema, initiated by ZKM. And also another word is called expanded cinema. I use expanded body. I created words by myself. I think not just the cinema was expanded, but also our body, our experience were expanded nowadays, because we were forced to watch the screen, to use different kinds of sensing technology to communicate, to deliver ourselves to the others. So this is a new situation right now. But these two old words or old terms are very inspiring to me. And for future cinema, basically it's a very flexible terms. In 2003, when artists, they are trying to use a lot of sensing technologies, VR, AR, video installations, programming, video, again, adapting. So it was nearly 18 years ago. But ironically, now we seem need that more than the 18 years before, because we really need a new model or new mode of cinema. Especially, as you can see now in Taipei, we cannot open the movie cinema anymore. So this kind of logic, this kind of creativity thinking maybe will be very useful to us. And also the expanded cinema. It was an old term idea from late 1960s, mostly used in film world, but not in contemporary art. But after 2000, like Tate Modern, they had the conference and events for that in 2009, and called expanded cinema. They tried to use the word to create a context for those avant-garde filmmakers or course field artists. They tried to find a new way to experience images, moving images, or sound. So either future cinema or expanding cinema is, I think it's they both to be revisit. They worth to be revisit and to rethink again how we can reuse the technology and to expand our imagination and our bodies, our feelings, or to create a new way of communication and a new way of shipping our works to forward. So eventually, I would say I'm also asking myself now every day, like, can we find a new mode of experiencing? How can we deliver messages, art, aesthetical ideas to different countries without physical moving. So this is my presentation today. Thank you very much.
Hi, thanks, Sue. Yeah, I think yeah, your plan B is really remarkable and really fascinating if you can realize it's in Rotterdam. Yeah, but I think based on your presentation, then I think we can invite all other presenters on the floor coming back.